All right, what is up, guys? Blacklisted Voice, episode 42. We're here with Kade Harrington, member of ManMade Crossifit's team that went and competed at the games this last year. Kade, how you doing?
Doing well. How y'all?
Not too bad, not too bad. So what's training been like now that after the game season's done?
Well, I guess right after we got done with the games, I think I took like a whole week off, which for me was a lot and is a lot. I don't know if I've ever taken a game training and just in working out in general. I don't know if I've ever taken a full week off where I wasn't like going on vacation or something. I was actually at home and not training, coming home after work and realizing that you have a lot more time when you don't train for 2-3 hours.
Was that
in the afternoon as well? But after that, it was just it was super weird. Logan didn't give me any programming, so I was like, I don't know what to do. Feel kind of crazy, but no, it was cool. We start retest some stuff and then just hammering weaknesses. Keep on hammering weaknesses.
What do you know what you guys are working on right now?
Oh, we've been working on my shoulder to overhead. So like push press, mainly my push press was extremely disproportionately weak compared to my other numbers that we found when we did like the testing. So been hammering that, lots of handstand push-ups, just hammering the stuff that I am not good at.
Gotcha. Yeah. Because you had hit clean and jerk PR right before West Coast, right? And it was specific.
So I hit 350 clean and jerk. But it's the jerk that's the issue for me. I can clean more, I can clean more than 350. It's just I can't jerk it. So we're gonna try to get that up. Yeah.
So you'll be the guy cleaning 400.
I hope, man. That'd be sweet. I barely missed 380 the other day, so I'm hoping.
Did you really?
Yeah, barely. I got under it. I caught it a little off. I got under it. I just caught it a little off.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah. Because you had in the quarterfinals, you had front squatted what, like 4? It was 405.
397 for 3 or 4. I don't remember how many reps it was.
I think it was 4.
But I think it was 4. I did 397 for 4, and I definitely had some more in the tank. But
sweet.
it felt good. Yeah, I was happy. I surprised myself. I was like, I didn't know. I mean, I hadn't squatted more than my one rep since I graduated college was 405.
No
front
shit.
Squat, and I hadn't hit that a few times. So I hadn't done more than 405. So I did 383. I think it was my first set of 4, and it was like really easy. And we used the kilo stuff, so I ended up equating to 397.
Okay. Because I think somebody was telling me they were just like throwing weights on for you, right? And you like had no idea what it was.
Yeah. That time I didn't know. Yeah, 383. We had no idea. Then I went up, I was like, let's do 400, and then we just had the weight, whatever the weights we had next to us. We just put it on there, and then we realized it was 397 after. I was like, I'm happy with that.
So so you were trying to hit 400.
That was the goal, was going to be 400, but then trying to find all the weights to make that equal 400 just with what I had on there already it would have been like having to think. And I think the time was time wise too. I don't know. We weren't too pressed, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to overthink it and then miss it. So I was like, just put whatever we got on there. I'll hit it real quick. And then I hit that. And then obviously I was like, okay, that's good. We're going to stop.
We're good with that. That's sick. You guys finished pretty high on that one, right?
Yeah.
In quarterfinals?
And on the strength one, which surprisingly, I think it was a top 10 finish, I think, in the quarters with the strength.
I think so.
Maybe like 7.
Yeah. I mean, it was up there.
We were like 7. Shocked all of us.
Yeah. I mean, you guys crushed quarterfinals. Like, you guys smashed those workouts. So
they were really kind of that workout. So we got lucky to high volume double unders and the handstand stuff. As a team, we're really good at with that type of work, which unfortunately didn't translate to the West Coast when we had that handstand push-ups. But I mean, it was one of our better workouts.
Yeah. I mean, I think the big separator there was the strict handstand push-ups and the fact that you had other work inside of there, which like the West Coast was just straight, like how fast can you do
speed
push-ups? Yeah.
And we went 30
the other
seconds faster than we did in practice for the two.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some of the times that were being put up there were like, they were pretty surprising to me too. Like they were smashing the times from 20,
yeah, it was
like
crazy.
5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it was
exactly crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you guys definitely had the hardest region out of any of the quarterfinals to come out of.
Yeah.
I don't know about the games, because I think like the Australian, it was like all top 10 were like European and Australian teams minus Froning's team. It was weird, but I think it was just because of the sled.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that thing wrecked us.
Was that like the worst part of the weekend?
Hands down. I thought the swim was going to be the worst, but the swim turned out to be the easiest. That was hands down. The worst part was the first time we pushed the bob. We made the mistake. We were first heat. We made the mistake of pushing the thing the entire length of the field. And then when we got back, by the time we got done with that workout and we were watching it all, we watched Mayhem go, and they were taking breaks every section, and even sometimes in between each section. And I was just like, well, we didn't know.
It sucks because that first heat is just like the straight guinea pigs for people.
Yeah.
Like I know people that had pushed the bob before, and they said that one was by far harder than any time they've ever pushed it prior to that. So it was just, it was a gross workout or gross apparatus, I guess.
Yeah, it was not. It was just different than what I expected.
Yeah,
it was different.
It
was like heavier for sure.
Yeah, because you have a pretty big football background. So I'm sure you had done a bunch of sled pushing in the past.
A ton. Yeah.
How did the bob?
It was way harder. It's different. I think it's different because we weren't really able to run it. Like you couldn't really get ahead of steam. You had to almost like power step it. So for like, I know me, and I know even like when James, like we were in the middle of the workout and my legs were shot. Like after the first push, I was nervous to jump up to go do the muscle ups because my legs were so blown up. And I haven't felt like, we do a lot of leg, assault bike blow up with box jumps and whatever. And my legs have never felt like they did then.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, oh.
So you think it was more?
Yeah. They just got. Yeah. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah. So it was like more of like just a grind, like the grind of it just lit them up. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was entirely. If we wouldn't have pushed it the entire way, they wouldn't have blown up.
Oh, okay.
But it's pushed however the field was. I don't remember, but however long the field was, we pushed it the entire way in one go, blew them up. If we would have, pushed it to the line, in each segment like most people did, I think we would have done a lot better in that workout, and then it wouldn't have crushed us for the second portion.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Got it. So what was like we had Carrie on a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah.
And we had chatted about how like you guys were literally like a last minute invite.
Yeah.
What were kind of your feelings on that last minute? Were you just like super stoked or?
Oh, you cut out. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
What were you feeling like when you got that invite? Were you like, oh shit, we're going? Or were you like, I've been doing nothing for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was exactly. It was tough leading up to it. I had taken a whole week off as well. And I leading up to West Coast, I think, for almost the entirety of the spring, there was no alcohol. There was, none of that. Like it was pretty strict. It was fitness pretty much 7 days a week. If we're not, the rest days was running or swimming or doing whatever. But right after the West Coast, it was like the 4th of July weekend. We had no invite. So of course I had some drinks and with my buddy stayed up, only that I wasn't doing leading up to that. And then all of a sudden, I'm slowly getting back into training. We're doing like, one session, like maybe twice a week. I'm doing 2 sessions and doing strict accessory work, maybe one a day, just to get ready for the new cycle for the off season. And all of a sudden it's, hey, you have to go compete at the most intense, competition of your life. And I'm in worse shape now than I was at the West Coast.
Right. Where like most teams are coming in.
It's like all of a but I mean, ultimately, Ultimately, I don't know how much that truly. I mean, of course, it's going to affect us a little bit, but it's definitely not an excuse that I'll ever use as saying like why we didn't finish.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I think that it was a pretty good learning experience for you guys. Like,
yeah,
oh, this is what it takes to get there, and this is like the level that it is competition-wise there, and like how perfect your execution has to be. All these events. It's it's a next level. So what was your?
It has to be flawless.
Yeah. And that's, I think, what Mayhem does so well is they just have so much experience that it is literally flawless. Like their workouts are executed to a T. What was so like what did you think overall of the games?
Oh, dude, it was a ton of fun. I love the experience. We made sure we got there quite a bit early, but we made sure when we went to check in and walked around got to walk around and be a spectator for that Tuesday when we checked in. Got to actually be like a little bit of a spectator. We walked around, went to Vendor Village, tried to do as much as we could beforehand as well, just and enjoy it because it may never happen again.
Right.
So really wanted to make sure to soak up the moment and enjoy the moment because I mean, as far as like for me, I know I was the guy that up until January of 2021, I was a class WOD guy my whole life. I just go to the class WOD and I go home.
Right.
That's how I did fitness. So then I realized, going to ManMade that you had to like the training is like a whole another level to go to the games.
Yeah.
So after the 8 months or so that we put in of training together, it's like, man, all the hard work, you got to enjoy the moment too.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are a lot of people that miss that perspective about going to the games. Is like it's not a guarantee year after year, and like you kind of have to enjoy yourself while you're there. So it's cool that you were able to recognize that just your first year going there. But I'm guessing that some of your football experience played into that.
Yeah,
mentality.
For sure. Oh yeah. I mean, the competition side of it was the easy part, right? Like that's the workouts, the movements, you can work out, you can do it. It's just it's that was the competition side of it was the fun. Like I say, it was easy, but like that was the mindless. You don't have to really think. Just the training was harder than the comp, if that makes sense.
For sure. Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So you were a running back at Lamar University, is that correct?
Yep.
That's a FCS school.
Exactly. Yeah, D1 AA FCS.
Okay. And how many years did you play there for?
4 years.
Oh, okay, cool. Did you redshirt or anything, or?
Nope. I started as a troop. I started as a freshman and all the way through.
Okay, nice. Logan has said that you were pretty good and won some awards.
Yeah, my freshman year I got lucky. The guy that was ahead of me ended up getting hurt, and then I ended up starting over him, and then I ended up being the newcomer of the conference that year. And then I don't remember what team I was All-American as a freshman. I was a freshman All-American, and then. But every year I had some form of an injury. I ended up breaking my foot my freshman year, and then playing. It wasn't a severe enough break to sit me out, but I had to fix it afterwards. Sophomore year was my worst year. I tore my PCL, so I don't have a PCL on my left knee anymore. But I missed 3 games for that, so that was my worst year. I think I rushed maybe like 800 yards.
Okay.
And then my junior year was my big year. I rushed for right under 2,100.
Okay.
And that was the big year with all the awards. So I think I averaged like 190 yards a game that year, which
190
in rushing world, that's a lot. We had a good team. I got a game. That was my average. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. But we had a crazy good offensive line. I had two of those guys on the O line. Both went to camps in the pros. One went to San Francisco and one went to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And they were both great. And then I went to mini camp with Dallas, and then Reggie was on the team at the time too. He played for Green Bay last year. He went to Calgary and played a bunch of years in Calgary, and then we just got done Green Bay.
Oh,
but that was my big year. I lost so in FCS you have what's called the Walter Payton Award, or I guess that's what it used to be called. I don't know what they call it now, but it's essentially the Heisman for FCS. Cooper Kupp beat me my junior year for it, which
no shit.
I'll take it. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so it was me. It was Cooper. Yeah, so I got a cool picture of Cooper Kupp. If that means anything, right?
Yeah,
but so he beat me by like 27 votes. So they said it was the closest ever been. Because he had like yards receiving, something ridiculous. Like the man deserved it. He's a 3-time All-American beforehand. Like dude was good. Like if I was gonna lose to anybody, I'm happy it's him.
Yeah, I mean he's putting up like great numbers in the league right now too. So he's just like a freak athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a freak. And then
sorry. We're having a little bit of if you guys can't tell, like a little bit of connection things. A little bit. I think it's delayed on both our ends or something.
Yeah, it is.
So what were you gonna say about your senior year? I come through.
I was gonna say senior year got cut. Senior year got cut short. I tore my Liz Frank in my foot. Don't know. I'm sure you may know what that is. A lot of people don't. It's the ligament that like holds your toe bones from like doing like normal as opposed to spreading them apart.
Okay.
So I tore that ligament, and they had to put 4 screws in my foot. So that was like a career ending injury.
Gotcha.
So my career of that, I played 5 games in a year.
How does that happen?
Part of the game.
Yeah.
I was running to the right. It's hard to, I don't know how I can show it. Essentially it's like when I got tackled my foot, some guy landed on it to where it went like this. It like rolled it like that. And just I knew immediately that I walked off. I walked off the field and took my shoe off, and it was like my toes were already swollen shut.
Oh wow. Dang. So it was almost like the ball of the foot, those were like planted, and the whole foot went like in the opposite direction or something like that.
Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah. Essentially like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. And so like, what is your like running ability? And do you feel anything with it now, or?
None. It doesn't bother me at all.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I know. I got lucky. None of my injuries affect me at all. I had a double sports hernia surgery as well too, and I don't have any. I dislocated my left, and I got lucky. Nothing hurts.
I mean, that's crazy to come out like that banged up and like not have long-lasting injuries from it. That's wild.
I had 1,000 touches in college, and CrossFit. I feel the best doing CrossFit. People joke about CrossFit all the time, I'm like, man, I don't know what y'all talking about. This is nothing.
Like, I'm not getting smashed by 300-pound defensive linemen right now.
Exactly. And I'm not a big dude. I was probably like 205 pounds when I played.
Yeah. So you're finding that CrossFit is a lot better on your body than football was.
Not even close. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think some of that has to do with like the fact that you were doing group classes versus competitive training, or?
Yeah, I do actually. I really do. Because I think I didn't do it. I did like local comps here and there just for fun. I wasn't really like fit by any means, but like these little local comps, I'd go and maybe podium. I wouldn't win anything. I would just do it for fun. So I didn't take it too seriously. I wasn't like it was just class workout, call it a day. So I built up I think I built up a pretty solid foundation for whenever I realized that, oh man, like people have coaches, like this is like a real thing in this sport. That at least I went into that with a strong foundation before I just jumped right into the competitive scene. I think with my brother, I think that's also how I think that helped him a lot too. He started when Murph, so May, really June, we'll count June. He started in June of last year. And I guess he got on with Logan maybe just a couple months ago. So he had a pretty solid foundation of watching games and workouts on the side too. So he had built up a pretty decent foundation. And now it's like, now he's like, okay, now I'm ready to like actually hammer my weaknesses, not just work out to look good or for the fitness. Now it's for the sport.
Yeah. So he's gotten the competitive bug a little bit.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
He's not going down to beach brawl this weekend, is he?
No, just hunter.
Okay, right on. So what would you say like the biggest difference for just doing class workouts and then like doing competitive training is? See if
like the biggest difference. I can kind of cut out there for a second.
Yeah.
But well, one, in class, I only would care if I would just make sure to win the class. You know what I mean? Like, okay, what was the fastest time in the class? Okay, make sure I win. You know what I mean? Like that was my mindset. It was like, okay, I just want to make sure that I win the class and that I have the fastest times on the day. Didn't care about, what the purpose of the workout was. It was just make sure I do it good.
Yeah.
I think now the biggest difference is every workout truly has like an actual purpose. Like it's I look at it now as like training for like what I used to do for football, where you would bench, squat, and clean to be able to be more explosive on the field. Well, now we're not working out to like have a six pack or to look good or be able to drink on the weekends. Like those thoughts of why people truly work out isn't like what motivates us, or at least for me. It's okay. Well, I have to do, this EMOM or this workout to be able to get this much better at this movement. So like it's become more of like a job almost. It's like, okay, I'm gonna train this to get better at this, so that way when the open rolls around, kind of my mind. It's like, then that's why I guess sometimes we go on like the weekends, we'll go to ManMade and work out on the weekends there, because I do a lot of my training out in my garage. So most of my stuff is solo. I do 99% of it solo.
Yeah.
So it's becomes like working out to progress these skills, and then it's fun just to go do a class walk on the weekends with everyone.
Yeah. So you would say it's almost a little bit more targeted is what?
Yeah, entirely targeted. Yep.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. And
like probably a little bit, I'm a little bit more volume as well, probably volume and intensity.
Yeah, it's all the above. The volume, and I try to hit all my stuff too. So when I do hit all my workouts, just based on work, the volume's up there. But I can tell that because of the volume I do, it makes other movements I used to get sore and used to really hurt me. Now it's like I see the number, I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be fine. So which is super cool.
It's like if you had like 50 handstand push-ups in a workout previously, you'd be like, oh, there go my shoulders.
Exactly. And now I'm like, okay, now I know I can do that. Like for me, the biggest difference is the GHDs. I used to do, 150 GHDs for time, like 2 months ago, would crush me, and I was sore for, the rest of the weekend. But, I just did it for time this week, and I did my other workouts after I did that. And then, so I was like, okay, what I'm doing is working, and seeing those direct results is what keeps, saying, okay, what you're doing works.
Yeah. And so there's like, would you say there's like a little bit more of like a specific progression to things? It's entirely. Not just like, hey, you're going to show up and do this random workout.
Yeah, it's exactly like I'll use the GHD one for example, just because I just retested my 150 for time. Before, when we tested it first, it was fairly slow. And then we would do like EMOM, so that with a 10-minute EMOM of 15 or 14, whatever it is, every minute. And then when you go up, then you progress the next week to 15 and 16, split 5 and 5. And then the next week was like 16-minute EMOM. Something, there's progress where all of a sudden I did 170 GHDs in 10 minutes and through an EMOM. I was like, okay, then the next day I wasn't sore. And then we retested the 150 per time and I beat my time by a significant amount. So it was like, okay, well, wow, the progression is truly what works. And CrossFit is the same workouts and Metcons. Not only are you hitting 5 reps of 3 on back squat, but it's the same style for accessory work and Metcons as well, is what I'm learning. It's pretty cool.
Could you say that last part again? You broke up a little bit on that.
Yeah. It's it's when you're doing a back squat set, you're doing 5 sets of 3. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing back squats, you do percentage work. It's 5 sets of 3 this week. And the next week, the percent goes up. It's the same idea goes with CrossFit now. Next thing you're doing is for a work time, but you're resting 2.5 minutes between each round. And it's just the style of the workout goes away from just doing a strength and then a class WOD. It's okay, we're going to do this workout, rest 2.5 minutes between this set, if it's 3 sets, even though it's a Metcon style workout, you're treating it as you're weightlifting. Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. There's more interval based stuff. And with the intervals, you get a higher intensity into training, which in theory leads to better results when you go and actually do a full CrossFit workout, because you've already been working at a higher intensity in those intervals.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm completely understanding why that's what people, and that's why training is structured that way. It makes sense now.
Yeah. And it's not just show up, do class, or do a freaking crazy Metcon, maybe do another crazy Metcon, there's a purpose to things, if that makes sense.
Yep. Purpose to everything.
Yeah, for sure. So how do you feel did football transfer over really well into CrossFit, or do you feel there was a little bit of you were catching up in certain aspects of the sport because of the sport that you played? Does that kind of make sense? Or
yeah, I think football helped me with the strength portion for sure. It gave me a really good baseline. From what I've seen, I coached CrossFit for a year and a half in Dallas. And what I learned was most people and most new people to CrossFit are just really weak. Because they didn't have a strong core strength foundation. And that's what football was, having a good, strong, squat foundation and clean foundation. I came in already with a higher squat for a 1 rep. I already had a higher squat and clean than most, especially back squat, most CrossFitters have.
Right.
Quickly learned that 1 rep max they're all fine and dandy, but then you got to be able to you got to be able to move lower weight at a lot more reps.
Right.
So that doesn't directly correlate, but at least it gives you the strong foundation to be able to build all of that. Yeah.
So when you first showed up to CrossFit, did it just kick your ass, or what were you pretty conditioned for it?
No, it crushed me. It crushed me. Yeah. I remember the very first day I dropped in, it was a 20 rep. And I felt pretty good about it, but man, I was so sore.
So you broke up. You said it was a 20 rep max.
Back squat.
That was your first CrossFit workout?
Of that workout was a 20 rep max back squat. The actual workout that day was we were doing it was rowing and running and kettlebell swings. It was a Thursday. So I was the actual workout. Yeah. So I got lucky. Yeah, because I got lucky. Thursdays are normally the easier days. But then that following, so then I didn't come work out that Friday or Saturday, and then I went work out that Monday. And the workout what was the workout? I think it was Grace, but every minute you had to do burpees or something. like every
Okay.
minute. And this was before Grace was a fun workout, you know. Like at the time I saw that, I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna die. And I think it took like an 8-minute deal to be able to do this with these burpees. It was horrible, but I was so sore. But yeah, I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So were you hooked like right away, or was it like
instantly?
Yeah.
Instantly. Yeah.
What was it like? It was the fact that it was like super challenging, or?
Yeah, it was something I wasn't good at, and I really enjoyed the fact that I like at the time there was a guy, Jimmy Gross was there, and he was really fit. He was a top guy at Wadapalooza. I think he qualified like third or fourth one year individual at Wadapalooza, very fit. Yeah. And I was like, man, like I looks like the fact that he can do all these movements. I couldn't do 5-bar muscle ups. I could barely do a ring muscle up, you know. Like it was really cool to find something that I was really bad at and see that, okay, you just like CrossFit rewards the people that work hard. Right. That's true to it. So as long as you put the time in, you can definitely see progression. I think that's what I liked about it, was seeing the progression day in and day out.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was kind of like the gains that you were getting were like how exponentially like you saw your work being rewarded very quickly.
Honestly, and like the way my body looked, like, you know, Pete, that's why a lot of people do it. You look good. Like it makes you look fit. You get muscles, you know, it leans you up. I was a little thicker then. So it's a little power. Yeah.
A little too
Lots
much.
of drinking. So yeah. You can't go out on a Friday night when you got to work out, when you're wanting to go work out Saturday morning, you know, like it doesn't work out that well for me, at least. My body doesn't do well with that.
So, man, there was one of the girls on my other team. She would get, like, when we first started, she would go out Friday night and show up Saturday like hungover as fuck.
Oh
she would still smash it.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know how she did it.
I couldn't. I'd throw up and I'd be sweating alcohol. Oh no.
Oh, kind of like the camp that we had.
That was just like just like that. I was dying doing sandbag cleans. Yes, in running, I just felt alcohol oozing out of my body. Exactly.
Hell yeah, that's sick.
It was fun though.
Yeah, for sure. So what's next year? Like, are you just focused on training, or are you going to compete at all here soon, or?
Yeah. Right now I'm really just kind of having fun training, kind of just going my day by day, doing the stuff. It's not miss a workout. I don't feel guilty because, you know, I don't have anything in the immediate future right now. We have TFX coming up. Not really sure what our plans are for that yet. We'll talk to the team here in a little bit, but we'll see if we go individual, if we go team, we'll see what kind of how it works out.
Yeah. Because have you done
how it all unfolds? I did TFX in 2018 as an individual, so I would have been about 5 months into CrossFit. I did the qualifiers like 2 to 3 months in, and I qualified, I guess now. So I did it then. I remember I could hardly do a ring muscle up, and I got second in a workout, and I got second to last in a workout. And the second, the workout I got second in was like 50 double unders, 20 clean and jerks at 135, and like maybe 30 pistols. So I got second in that one.
Yes, I remember that workout. Yeah.
So I was like, I think I was the only one who did the clean and jerks unbroken at the time. Because at the time I had done Grace, I did 29 straight on Grace. So I was like, oh, 20, I'll be fine.
Was it your guys' weight 155 or was it 135?
135.
Okay.
155 would have been pro. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I actually did it individual. That Logan and I actually both did it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, y'all definitely crushed me because I was not good.
I mean, I think I got owned in that competition too. So
couldn't do a ring there and looked at them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the what is it? Kettlebell thruster. Ring muscle up D-ball carry workout.
Bad day. Not a good day for me.
Well, this is cool. Did you guys have the deadlift handstand walk workout too?
Yep, but I was just only at 275. That actually wasn't that terrible. I wasn't good at handstand walks at the time.
Okay, but you could do those.
But that was at least a decently fun one. Yeah.
Okay.
Say again?
You could do handstand walks at the time though?
Yeah. I could do handstand walks at the time. Yeah. So I was like 6 months in.
Okay.
Yeah, because this was in January and I started in August. So 5 months in. Yeah.
So you like legit started and were like did the TFX qualifiers and then straight up to TFX.
Yeah, that was my first comp ever.
That's sick.
Yeah, I jumped right in. The owner at the gym was like, "Hey, you should do these qualifiers," and I was like, "How much is it?" He's like, $20. I was like, "All right, I'll do them for fun." And did them. Was like, and like looking back, I look at the videos now and was like, "Oh man, if I did the workouts now, like, oh, like I would have went so much faster." You know?
Yeah, looking back at old training videos, you're like, "This is an embarrassment. Can this be deleted off the internet?"
Oh, I have one that was in 2019, and this was, I mean, like I'm telling you, for the longest time, my muscle ups for bar or ring were not good. Like I was extremely bad at them. And there was one of it, I had to do 20 bar for time. Now I could do 20 bar muscle ups straight, right? At the time, I was going in like 5s and 3s. Yeah. I was like watching the video, I was just like, holy cow, man! Like, come on, like just hold on.
You like do a set of 5, drop down, get chalk, like breathing super hard, like.
I had taken my shoes off because I thought that would make it better to make me lighter. That's how bad I was at them. I have the videos. I have the video on YouTube still. Yeah, it was horrible. Shoeless. Yeah,
classic.
It was bad. I was not good. Yeah, it's crazy how far and how much you can progress. Just
so was that like you getting better at that? Was that you like dedicating to skill work, or was it just kind of like you're pretty naturally like athletic? Was it just you kind of figured it out and carried it over as you went and like watching video and stuff like that?
Yeah, video. I watched videos. I mean, I got really good at them once I joined Blacklisted.
Okay.
Did so many because I do so many of them, you know, because I do so much of every of these higher skill level movements that classes just normally don't program. That's really when I got better at them. Was when I was able to probably do 10 to 15 muscle-ups unbroken on both bar and core, but now I can do head and shoulders more than that because I just do so many more of them and under fatigue. That's really made the difference.
Yeah,
doing them and just learning and then it clicking.
Yeah. So you almost walk away.
I feel my hips way.
Sorry. So you almost walk away from each training session, like picking up a new component of a skill, if that makes sense.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah. What do you think, like, you can contribute that to? Does that make sense?
Like in life?
Just in general, like, I think there's a lot of people that kind of struggle with like maybe understanding their body in space, or like how to visualize yourself doing a movement, or like the mental mindset of how to take something away from every rep that you're performing. Does that kind of make sense?
100%. Yeah. The thing I heard, I was listening to on a podcast, and the most true thing I ever heard him say was, what is the purpose of the workout? Like train with a purpose. And I think that's kind of, ever since I heard that, that's what kind of, for me, that's what clicked, was when I do this workout, if I can do this movement and it's this much faster, it saves me that much energy to be able to progress to the next movement I have. And I think that's kind of that's for me, that's what clicked. And I think if people can realize that if you do one thing 1% better, it translates to everything else too.
Yeah. So
if that answers your question,
yeah, I think so. Like, so you're saying that, like, you understand that if I can improve my efficiency on a movement by just 1%, I know that when I'm in a workout, that 1% improvement is going to allow me to express capacity better on like my next movement.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what you're saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you are like almost like hyper focused on how to improve your movement quality then. Is that kind of?
Yeah. Because if I do movements like a ring muscle up, I know that movement takes more energy, takes way more of my energy than like a bar muscle up. You know what I mean? So I know like if I'm doing rings in this workout, then I'm gonna be a little more tired going on to the next whatever. Where that's kind of I've learned with the workouts, and we're doing so many workouts with so many different parts and picking up the purpose of each workout is, okay, if I'm doing this movement, I need to know that I'm gonna be this fatigued. So I need to hold back this a little bit more, hold back here a little bit more to be able to push this portion of the workout more than another spot.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It makes sense in my head.
Yeah, for sure. So you kind of like use what you're most efficient at to strategize your workouts. See if that one went through. That go through?
Yeah. Like if I have a lot of ring muscle ups and burpee box jump overs, yeah. Like if I have a lot of ring muscle ups and burpee box jump overs, I'm definitely going to pace the ring muscle ups more, and I'm going to push the burpee box jump overs. Like that's kind of, and it translates.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming everyone probably does that. Just how like mentally in my head, how I progress is knowing, okay, if I was able to do 10 here, 10 ring muscle ups here, and then the next day I did 12. It's like, okay, well then I got better because now I know I can do 12 in the same style workout where it didn't fatigue me as much. So
yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I think that's like something that people kind of struggle with is like definitely like understanding the strategy of the workout and figuring out kind of their limits and where they like what their limits are for a certain movement. So like for you, ring muscle ups, like you were talking about, and then seeing the progress of that inside of their actual workout. So like maybe you have 5 rounds of 5 ring muscle ups, 5 deadlifts or something like that, and you had to break on the 4th round or 3rd round of ring muscle ups. And now the next time you have that workout, you went all the way 5 rounds unbroken. So it's like, oh, I got that was better. Yeah.
And I think that's the most rewarding part about doing, Blacklisted or like individualized programming is you actually get to truly see the progression. And for me, that's the motivator. Like, even though we don't have any like, comps coming up or the open isn't until February, like that's my motivator, is knowing that I'm progressing.
Yeah, for sure. So you like having a lot of retests in your training then?
Retests or just something as simple as doing a workout where my forearms were to blow up, because a lot of it chest, I did 100 chest to bars and I got sore, and then maybe a week or two later I do another workout where 120 chest to bars, I'm not sore, and I'm like, obviously the progression of doing the volume is working. And to me, that's like gets me excited to keep training. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like the way that your body is responding to the volume that you're getting.
Yes.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. It's always nice to like get done with like a workout that like 6 months ago would have murdered you, and
crushed
me. And then like get out of bed the next morning, you're like, oh, I'm not stiff.
Dude, that was I had 150 Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was able, and normally I would save that one for last because that's going to wreck me for the day, and I was able to continue. I did it first, and I finished up the rest of my training, and the next day I woke up and I wasn't sore at all. I hip flexor, no abs. I was like, that's progression. Like,
yeah, good to go.
Like, ready to keep going.
Did you get debilitatingly sore the first time you did GHDs?
Horribly. Yeah, I couldn't. I'll never forget. It was like because I never had done GHDs until like January.
Okay.
Like I never had done. What are we in, October? Or September?
Yeah.
Almost October, and I had never had done them. So I'm 9.5 months in of doing GHDs. So that's pretty. It's the first time we did them. I'll never. Even in the quarterfinals, they wrecked me.
Oh yeah.
Teammates were fine. I was dying, because I just had not trained GHDs, because that's not something class wants to do,
right?
Yeah, ever. And now I do a ton of them every week,
right?
So just slowly trying to build it up.
Yeah.
But I noticed though, with doing GHDs, everything, like my core toes to bar became easier, snatching became easier, front squatting became easier, everything became easier because you were strengthening your core.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised that they put that much GHDs in the quarterfinals when you had like people that were probably in like, 7,000th place in the open doing GHDs and having.
That's rhabdo right there for you.
Yeah, like maybe never even having done a GHD before, but I don't know, maybe listen.
And that's my headphones are about to die. Hold on one second.
Took a pause.
Hey,
you there?
Can you hear me?
Yep, sure can.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sorry, my headphones died.
All good.
But yeah, that I was shocked that they put that, what was it, like 160 or something?
Yeah, it was I mean, if you got that far, but even still, like 50 for somebody that's never done GHDs before is gonna, like, everybody was at least
wrecked. I know. And I remember I think I did like 30 or 40 one day, and I got done. I was like, holy crap. Right. And the next thing you know, I did 170 last week in a day. And so it's like not sore from it. I was like, this, it's just crazy how your body adapts to things like that.
Yeah. The volume of things just helps
just
out.
The volume.
Not even like intensity of the actual movement, but just like legit, just the volume of it is crazy.
Yeah. And also what I noticed, what's even crazier is like in my personal programming, I'll snatch a little and I do a ton of pressing and jerking, but I don't really squat. Like we don't go through squat cycles, and just haven't, because we're, hammering motor, engine stuff I need to work on. But without doing that and strengthening everything else, my clean number has gone up, my snatch has gone up. It's remarkable how it truly all ties together. You don't have to do those actual movements to get stronger at those movements.
Right. Yeah. There's like the little building blocks that you can like insert to like make the tower that much stronger, if that makes sense. If that analogy makes sense or not.
No, it does. It makes perfect sense, which is fascinating to me. My brain, I can't program for myself. I don't know. Like my brain doesn't work that way. I just like to see the workout and I do it, and I understand why I'm doing it. But like, there's no way I could think of that workout to do. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's why I don't do it.
You're really good at like just doing the work, pretty much.
Yes.
Like
I'd rather just be told what to do.
Yeah. Which is like what some of the best athletes in the world.
Yeah. It just is easy. It's like in football, I didn't have to think. You showed up, you have your card with the weights, the workouts you're doing, the written out for you, and you base on your maxes, and you just do that. Like that's how I like to work out. Like I tried to go to like an LA Fitness for like a week before I joined CrossFit, and I just was miserable going to the gym and like, okay, maybe I'm gonna go curl today. What do I want to do today? Like that's just, I had to think, and I didn't like having to think.
Yeah. You're like, this is my one time of the day. I don't have to do any thinking. I just want to go here, do this, and then leave.
Yep. And I don't, exactly. Now I don't have to think about my workouts. Here's my workouts. I know what I'm doing a week in advance. So it's fun to be able to be excited for workouts.
For sure. Is do you and Bryce get to work out together a lot then, or?
Yeah. So right now, no, because he is in College Station finishing up his master's.
Okay.
Yeah, but he does live with me, and we do pretty like I do all of my training. I made my garage a little CrossFit gym, so I do all of my training in my garage. And on the weekends, I'll go to ManMade if I'm not too busy or whatever. He works out at Aggieland right now just because he's in College Station.
Okay.
But when he was living here, we would work out in the garage together. And for the longest time, he actually did my programming. So like what Logan was programming for me.
Oh, okay.
He would do mine with me, because he was like, well, this is better than doing class. So this is, your workouts, just because they're your weaknesses, they're going to help me too.
Right.
So I'm just going to do your stuff. And then, so he did that for the longest time. And then I think it was after West Coast. It was either the West Coast or the Games, one of the two. and he had he came to me. I think it was at the games. It might have been.
Yeah, I think so.
And he finally like, man, I think I'm going to get on with Logan. I was like, that's like, I fully support it. I think you should. I mean, your best thing you ever did. And ever since then, every day he's like this. I mean, his progression's been remarkable. Just getting with Logan, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Logan says what he's doing right now is pretty impressive.
Yeah, like he went from, I think, being able to do like 6 or 7 ring muscle ups to hitting 15 in like a month. I was like, holy cow! Like he did 23 unbroken bar muscle ups the other day.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, I was like, bro, like you're head and shoulders above where I was a year in.
Yeah. And I think Logan said something like he hit a 40-pound like jerk PR too the other day or something like that.
Yeah, I think 265 to 305, I think, something ridiculous for a push jerk, something ridiculous. And he should have hit 315, but he just didn't. He missed it by like this much.
Oh, really? Dang.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. That's what I keep telling him. Like, you don't understand how much of a progression you're truly making.
I mean, that is like, you don't hear that very often.
And he came from a background of nothing. Like he played sports in high school, but he got hurt, and then he went to college. He did bartending. He did, bouncing. He worked at a wine bar for a bunch of years. So there was not much fitness being had in college. So he went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. I mean,
it's pretty remarkable to see his perfect CrossFit transformation story from if you want to look at it as a competitive state, like anyone can get competitive in it.
Yeah. That's pretty remarkable.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Pretty cool. I think his background is actually going to help him stay in the sport longer because he's just not as beat up as a lot of other people were coming into this, and like he's already competing at a pretty high level, so he'll have a pretty good future in this sport for sure.
I think he was like 330 in the quarters for him, and he was 8 months in, and that's before Logan. That's before
was he really?
That was before Blacklisted. He was 330, 340 out of the quarters, which he was really happy with.
But 8 months in, I would be pretty happy with that too.
Yeah, he was stoked. He was super happy. So that's before he joined Blacklisted. So he's super excited to see now how that's going to translate, because obviously it's going to be head and shoulders better.
Right. Yeah. That's going to be super interesting to see what he does this next year.
Yep.
That's awesome. Sweet. Well, cool. I think this is hitting right about an hour or so, and I think he's off the train. So we'll wrap it up.
Cool.
But how do people find you?
Instagram, it's going to be Kade_Harrington, I believe, is my Instagram handle. I have a Twitter, but I couldn't tell last time I got on Twitter. Don't even know what my handle is. Probably at Kade Harrington. And then Facebook, my name.
Sweet. Right on. Well, thanks for listening, guys. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to head over to Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, Blacklisted.HQ. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. If you guys are listening on Spotify or another podcast service, head over to our Instagram, give us a follow on Instagram, and make sure you give us a follow on YouTube. Kade, thanks for coming on. It was talking to you, and I'm excited to get another camp going out in Texas.
Oh, we'll be there in Texas for sure. Oh, yeah. Also, I'll be in Atlanta October 14th or 15th. We're doing my buddy, one of my best friends lives right outside of Atlanta. He goes to CrossFit 114. Then they're doing that comp.
Sean, right?
Carson,
yeah.
He lives right outside. He goes to 1124, and they're doing that rain comp. I think it's what it's called, rain.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it, or not. But he asked me, he asked me and Bryce to do it with him. So we're flying in, and we're going to come do it for fun.
Legit. Well, This is still on the podcast, so if you guys want to watch Kade in action, come out October 14th.
We'll do that.
CrossFit 114.
Yep.
So cool. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for coming on, Kade. We'll catch you guys later.
No problem. Appreciate it. Thank you.